Hello, my friends. So today I want to discuss the question of what it means to have a soul. Like, really, what it means. Now, before I go any further, I don't want to see any anti-redheadic remarks in the comments section because we do have souls. Gingers have the best souls. So, now that I got that out of the way, what does it mean to have a soul? I think that a clear meaning of what it actually means to have a soul can be found in some clues regarding the traditional religious conceptions of the soul. Even the Christian understanding of the soul, or at least certain features of their understanding are important, I think. And a couple of those features are that, one, the soul is sort of impervious to material consequences, to material conditions. That the soul is always sort of perfect and divine. It's like a spark of God, and that material conditions don't really change the soul. The soul is always there as a potential to be sort of cleansed of the bodily sin and whatnot. It's essentially just unconditional. It's set apart from material contingencies. So that's one important element of it. Another important element, I think, is the popular notion of what we consider to be soulless, or what we consider to be like selling our souls. When we think of soullessness, we think of things like, a big gray office building with a bunch of gray cubicles that all look the same, and everyone in there is basically doing the bidding of the corporation. Every minute that they spend in this soul-crushing environment is spent doing someone else's bidding and doing something that brings them no joy. It does nothing to further their own values, further their own goals. They're just living for someone else. And that's we consider to be a very soulless activity. Soul-crushing, even. So if we put these two things together, that on one hand, the soul is something that is impervious to material conditioning, to material contingencies, and that, on the other hand, someone who's soulless, or someone who has sold their soul, are those people who act according to the will of another, or even according to a will which, in the case of like selling your soul, which forces you to do something that you otherwise wouldn't think was morally acceptable. It corrupts you, essentially. So what I think a rational understanding of the soul might be, or at least, a philosophical, more objective understanding of the soul, a less, esoteric religious and more exoteric, scientific, in a sense, understanding of the soul would be, is that someone who has a soul is somebody who possesses within their own heart, within their own mind and psyche, they possess a certain set of inviolable moral values. Certain things that, no matter what material conditions occur, no matter what, unforeseen events pop up, no matter what influences are present, even if those influences are directly opposed and make it extremely difficult. What are you doing? And make it extremely difficult to actually enact those values and morals, they still do it. So there's no possible situation that they could be put in where they would compromise their values. That, I think, is the person who has a soul. Because I think it incorporates both of these traditionally understood features of the soul, which is that it's impervious to material conditions. It's something that leads you no matter what challenges, no matter what obstacles. You follow that, I guess, conscience, or that sense of moral righteousness, that sense of moral value, no matter what the obstacles are, no matter what the challenges are. And, you don't act in a way that contradicts those values. And I mean, part of this is religious too. It's a sense of religiosity, to have this soul, to have the feeling of maintaining your soul and not selling your soul, and to be deeply religious about what you believe is true and right and just means that you will act in a way that is consistent with your values and is consistent with your morals, in a way that doesn't conflict with your morals, in a way that doesn't compromise your values, even in the face of, like I've already said, the most overwhelming odds. That's what it means to have a soul. That's what it means to be religious. To not sell yourself out just because of certain material conditions making it more pleasant or easier. You don't sell out no matter what, even unto death. And that's why your soul is immortal. Because even if your body dies, your soul is willing to sacrifice it. And that's kind of part of why I do what I do, and why I'm willing to show my face, why I'm willing to dox myself and show my name, be public about that, because I believe that what I'm doing is right, and I believe that if I were to try to compromise by hiding myself or trying to be more acceptable or being less honest about my opinions, I would be losing my soul. So that, to me, is what it really means to have a soul. So thank you for watching.